Donald Trump once said, no matter our race, color, religion, or creed, we are one America. In order to reduce criminals and drugs entering our country, draining our public funds, and overpopulating the United States, we must have tighter border security. My own grandmother came to America from Yugoslavia during the 1970s, fleeing from the violent crimes happening in her own country. She came to America for a better life for herself and her future generations. Today, we love America and we are proud citizens and we just love our country. My own brother is a Marine right now serving for our country. However, my point is that my grandmother came to America the only right and safe way. She went through the legal process to become a legal citizen. Today, I want to persuade you that we must do something about our border crisis because of the drugs, criminals, and human traffickers entering our country. The open border does not benefit the innocent nearly as much as you think it would. Instead, it benefits the Mexican cartel, the criminals, and human smugglers. The overall problem, I think personally, that the United States is facing right now is having little to no control over who or what is entering our country. So, drugs are entering our country, human traffickers, violent criminals are entering our country, and this contributes to overcrowding communities, the opioid epidemic, straining our resources and funds, and just compromising our nation's security overall. To start off with drugs, this year alone so far, 140,000 pounds of meth have entered America, 81,000 pounds of cocaine, 27,000 pounds of fentanyl, and 150,000 pounds of marijuana. And this all came from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. I did not include in this list heroin, LSD, ketamine, MDA, or any other illegal drugs, but there's a lot more. Moving on, 2.5 million people this year so far have entered America through the United States-Mexico border. Nearly half are illegal and have not been caught. America is nowhere near prepared for all these people coming into our country. This is just contributing to the overcrowding and not having any resources to help support these people. When they cross the border, they become dehydrated, they are starving, they don't have anywhere to go. And this also compromises our nation's security because millions of people are entering our country and we have no idea who they are, what their intentions are. A while back, there were a lot of videos being posted on social media where it was just hundreds of young men coming through the Mexican border, and it wasn't children, it wasn't women, it was just men. And when they asked where they were going, they would say Chicago, New York City, LA, and these are the cities that are having the overcrowding crisis right now. And these criminals and drugs, they aren't staying near the border. They are going to small cities, big cities everywhere in America. But my main point is that the open border does not benefit the innocent nearly as much as you think it would. Before researching for this presentation, I thought that the open border was great for the innocent people who want better lives. However, after doing just a little research, I found that it is just a huge opportunity for criminals, the cartel, and smugglers to enter the United States. Statistically, over half of them fail to cross the border on their own safely because of the Mexican cartel and smugglers captures them. From there, they are beat, raped, tortured, held for ransom, or they do come to America just as a sex worker. Continuing on, it is stated that 60% of children trying to illegally cross the border are captured by the cartel and then are forced to do whatever the cartel wants them to do. And this all came from the Heritage Foundation. It also stated that a victim as young as 2 months old was captured by the cartel, and what happened to them is a mystery. The human trafficking business is a multi-billion-dollar business, and it's all coming to America. And the open border is just a huge opportunity for them because they can smuggle anybody they want. But all of these problems can be decreased if we do have tighter border security. And this can be achieved through a lot of different ways, like having more trained workers at port of entry, because that is where most of the drugs are entering our country. More surveillance towers, more canine at port of entry, the use of drones, and lastly, upgrading and installing more physical borders. If we do not solve this problem, drugs and violent criminals will just keep entering our hometown, and innocent lives will keep getting smuggled into our country, being forced as sex workers. It also limits our own resources like housing, jobs, and fundings. If we do solve this, though, we will have less drugs entering our country, less human trafficking, and overall a safer country. Having a loose border does not benefit the innocent. It very rarely does. Instead, it benefits the cartel and human smugglers. I want my child to grow up in a safe community, what America used to be. All great change in America begins at the dinner table by Ronald Reagan.